From 90.7 WFAE, this is NewsWorthy for Monday, May 11th, 2026. I'm Eric Teal. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools Board of Education and Superintendent Crystal Hill were struggling Friday to pin down the system's budget for the upcoming school year. After the board rejected Hill's recommended budget, she said the board had given her an impossible task in asking her to revise a $2.1 billion budget in just a week.
There's no way that I could have come up with another recommendation in a week. I just don't, that's not my leadership style. My leadership style is going to the people that are closest to the work and getting feedback, which is where this came from. This got ran up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, brought it to the board, went back and forth. That's how we landed with this. So what you're seeing today is absolutely not my recommendation.
The board is up against a looming deadline. They're required to submit a final budget request to the county by this Friday. Republican leaders in both chambers of the North Carolina General Assembly are calling for a repeal of data center tax exemptions. Adam Wagner reports from Raleigh.
Data centers do not pay sales tax in North Carolina on their construction material, replacement equipment, or the electricity they use. Governor Josh Stein, a Democrat, has called for a repeal of those incentives. And now Republican legislative leaders are joining that call. Here's Speaker of the House Destin Hall, a Caldwell County Republican.
I don't know that there needs to be an incentive to get more of them here. My take on it is big companies like that, they ought to pay the same tax as any other business that's beside of them and make it fair. And so whatever we need to do that, I'm fine with.
Senate Leader Phil Berger, a Rockingham County Republican, recently said that the sales tax exemption on electricity used by data centers should be repealed. A North Carolina Department of Commerce analysis estimates the incentives are costing the state between $45 and $57 million in revenue annually, an amount that could increase as much as tenfold. Adam Wagner, North Carolina Newsroom, Capitol Bureau.
The North Carolina Forest Service lifted the burn ban statewide after a month and a half of mandatory restrictions. Kenneth Lee reports.
Mecklenburg, Cabarrus, Iredell, and Union counties were among the last counties still under the ban. Mecklenburg County officials also lifted a local burn ban covering fires within 100 feet of occupied buildings and reopened recreational burning at county park facilities. Despite the changes, officials say most open burning remains restricted under local fire and air quality rules, including burning yard waste in barrels, fire pits, or on the ground. Kenneth Lee, WFAE News.
The federal government has eliminated clean energy tax credits and rolled back greenhouse gas regulations on mobile sources like cars and trucks, creating economic headwinds for carbon-free supply chains. North Carolina is among the states hardest hit by Trump's decision to pump the brakes on clean energy. Zachary Turner has more on the latest clean energy jobs numbers in the state.
A new report shows North Carolina has experienced the most cancellations of announced clean energy manufacturing jobs since the start of 2025. The state lost 6,100 potential jobs when VinFast scaled back its plans for its Chatham County plant earlier this year. The other losses include smaller ones, like rollbacks at American Roller Bearings, 58 jobs, and big hits like Natron Energy at 2,000 jobs. Tom Taylor is an author of that report for Atlas Public Policy.
I think the thing to note is that there's still a pretty robust, clean economy in North Carolina because it started from such a strong position.
Last month, a Toyota representative confirmed that the company will keep making its investments in North Carolina's electric vehicle supply chain. Zachary Turner, WFAE News.
The city of Charlotte begins mandatory water restrictions Friday. Despite 2 inches of rain in the area over the past 5 days, the area is still in a significant drought. New figures from the Drought Monitor report are expected Thursday, but forecasters say several inches of steady rain are still needed. The cities of Concord and Kannapolis will move to level 2 mandatory water restrictions beginning May 15th as drought conditions continue. Officials say recent rainfall was not enough to improve long-term water supply concerns. Under the restrictions, lawn watering will only be allowed during limited overnight hours on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Residents are also prohibited from washing vehicles at home or pressure washing driveways and homes unless using a professional service. Officials say the measures are tied to regional drought protocols connected to the Catawba River Basin and are designed to reduce non-essential water use. Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, staff, and students remained locked out of the Canvas instructional platform Friday after a cybersecurity breach. That's even after Canvas came back online. The school system is warning students not to try to log on to Canvas and to ignore any suspicious pop-ups or messages. The school district is working to understand how much and what kinds of data were taken. North Carolina education officials say they may put an asterisk next to this year's high school graduation rate if it decreases due to immigration enforcement. Julian Berger has more.
During a presentation this week on achieving a 92% graduation rate by 2030, State Board of Education Vice Chair Alan Duncan raised a concern about immigration enforcement affecting student performance.
There has been some difficulty with some of our particularly Latino students who attend school this year.
More than 30,000 students were absent from Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools on the Monday after Border Patrol agents arrived in Charlotte. That's about 20% of the total enrollment. State Superintendent Mo Green responded, saying the state has considered some solutions.
We've talked about things like putting an asterisk next to information if there's a dramatic change, right? So there's things that we've talked about, but until we actually see the data, we don't want to make any move at this point.
North Carolina's high school graduation rate was 87.7% last school year. Julian Berger, WFAE News.
In Sunday's NBA draft lottery drawing in Chicago, the Charlotte Hornets landed the 14th overall pick. The Hornets also have the 18th pick after an earlier trade with the Phoenix Suns. Jeff Peterson is the team's president of basketball operations. He said 2 first-round picks give Charlotte multiple paths to improve.
It allows us to be flexible. It adds some optionality in terms of, being able to trade up, trade back, could move out. So it's always good to have options in life. And again, even if we stay put, we're confident that we'll get 2 really good players there.
The NBA draft is scheduled for June 23rd and 24th in New York. Charlotte FC broke their 4-match losing streak over the weekend with a tie against Cincinnati. Charlotte has now dropped to 8th in Major League Soccer's Eastern Conference. They'll host 7th-place New York City FC Wednesday night. 28-year-old PGA rookie Kristoffer Reitan won the Truist Championship at Quail Hollow Club yesterday, his first win on the tour. Reitan shot 64 Sunday to secure the win. He'll now move on to the PGA Championship this coming weekend in Pennsylvania. Gas prices in Charlotte are up more than 16 cents a gallon over the past week and now average $4.20 per gallon. That's according to Fuel Tracker Gas Buddy's survey of over 650 stations in the city. That's 33 cents a gallon higher than a month ago, $1.33 higher than a year ago. And for Monday, May 11th, that's Newsworthy. I'm Eric Teal.